to my teeth, like the purr of a huge, rusty cat finally getting attention. It crowds me so much that there isn't space for doubt. There's only space for momentum, for self-preservation. So I yank the padded headset over my ears, double-check that my seatbelt is buckled, and curl my fingers under the lip of the seat. There's nowhere to go but forward. There's nothing to do but take off. 3 other planes have gone up before us, carrying cargo and the rest of my co-workers. We 4 are the last to be delivered of 13 young adults from different towns all around the province, mostly strangers to one another. All of us running on empty stomachs and a bad night's sleep at the airbase's piece of shit bunkhouse. About to spend late May to late July working together at a fishing lodge in the northern Ontario bush. Northern Canada, the land of little sticks. It's a part of the country that evokes divisive emotions in those who have seen it or live on it, or have tried to live on it, and now it's going to be my home for the summer. I've done a little bit of reading on this place. I wanted to know what people had to say about it, bad or good, whether they were entranced or repulsed. The land that God gave to Cain, Jacques Cartier wrote when describing the northern forests of Quebec. I can't help but replay those words to myself as I think about the summer ahead. In fact, northern Canada was deemed so worthless that, in 1670, England's King Charles II gave the land away, 7.7 million square kilometers of it, to the Hudson's Bay Company, which, it might be said, turned a good profit off of it. And so northern Canada, this tangle of bog, fen, black spruce, and myth, is known as many things, depending on who you speak to. The nothing, the north, a wasteland, a dream destination, a place of infinite and strange beauty. Our destination, Kasagami Wilderness Lodge, is in the Hudson Bay lowlands, a geological region defined by peat bog and wide, slow-moving rivers, which sits about 100 kilometers south of James Bay, near the Quebec border. You can't drive to where we're going. The labyrinth of trees and water stops you in your tracks. Roads end as if you're about to drive off the earth. So, we made our way by train through the Canadian Shield, that ancient plate of granite that grips half of our country, unforgiving rock that had to be blasted through to build roads and the railway. We're heading for the middle of Kasagami Provincial Park, to the eastern side of Kasagami Lake, a big body of water, about 32 kilometers long and 12 kilometers at its widest, with about 290 kilometers of shoreline. Kasagami means big water in Cree, and the name is fitting. Big water, big land, big fish, big possibility. Our plane lurches alive. I grab my elbows and brace my body as the beaver's prop revs up to full tilt, and the plane fills with a roar that makes it impossible to yell, let alone talk, if we had been talking to one another in the first place. The plane jerks forward and then turns near the end of the lake, readying for takeoff. I'd ask the pilot a million questions about safety, about how long he has to make his decision about when to lift the plane up into flight before he runs out of lake, but he wouldn't hear me. We accelerate, the pontoons carving out a wake, and the end of the lake approaching in our windshield, faster and faster, and then we're hovering over the surface of the water, dragging out a spray, before the whole machine scuds gracelessly up, 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 and we're in the air, and there's no turning back. I look ahead, my ears pop, and I sit as ramrod straight as I can, trying not to give in to curiosity, because I'm worried I'll get nauseated and have to use those hopeless barf bags in front of these strangers. As we get higher and higher, I turn my head to peep out the window over Robin's shoulder. I'm blown away all over again, even though I've seen this before. A few minutes into the flight, and we're already approaching the boundary where the Canadian North really, truly begins. The boreal forest, also known as the taiga, is a biome, an ecological community. It's a huge